Good morning, children. Today we are going to see what is internet security. Okay, that is session 8 in web applications and security. So, in today's world, it is the most important term used along with net browsing. So, what is internet security? Have you heard this term before? So, internet security is a branch of computer security specifically related to the internet. Okay, often involving browser security but also network security. So, what is network security and what is internet security? Internet is a network. We learned it last year, isn't it? So, its objective is to establish rules and measures to use against attacks over the internet. So, you already know, you may know that. So, in today's world, there are a lot of security issues are happening in networking, in internet. So, we have to be very careful about while we are browsing internet. So, that's why we are learning internet security. So please mark what I have marked in my document also. Okay, so in your document, so the internet represents an insecure channel for exchanging information, leading to a high risk of intrusion or fraud such as phishing. So what is phishing? So phishing means using fake ID, stealing our information. That is what phishing. So somebody is using their fake ID to steal our information. So that is high risk. Okay, isn't it? That's a high risk of intrusion or fraud. In this session, introduces you to the internet security concepts and how to secure online and network transactions. So we can securely or safely do online work and network transactions. Though internet provides valuable information and entertainment, it may leave your computer unsecure due to many online threats. A lot of threats are evolving every day, day by day. So you need to ensure that your usernames, passwords, credit card or online banking information secure, as they are prone to be tracked and used by unauthorized users. Okay, so it should be very careful. You should be very careful. You may not use that your credit cards or banking, online banking, but you have to inform your parents also as well. So some websites can also install malware on your computer without user consent, without our consent, thereby leaving the computer damaged or insecure. What is a malware? Computer malware. Malware means not good software. It's not a good software. Okay, it can be virus, it can be spyware, any type of useless software which can harm us. That's what malware. Okay, so if you are browsing an unauthorized sites or not a famous sites, websites, it may install malware automatically in your system. So you have to be very careful while you are browsing internet. Okay, that's what. Then online threats such as phishing, email spoofing, chat spoofing. Spoofing means using a fake ID, they can send mails to us. And chat spoofing means using a fake ID, they can chat with us. They may not be the right person, isn't it? That's what. So etc. can increase the chances of users getting compromised. So we have to be aware of all these type of malware or actions happening day-to-day life. So you can reduce the risk by using best practices such as using antivirus software or anti-spyware software. Okay, so what is antivirus? We learned it last year. Antivirus software means it's a type of program used to scan your program. You scan your downloading program or scan for virus and remove it. Anti-spyware means it is a software used to detect your spyware programs and remove it. That's what anti-spyware. Okay. So software, firewall, strong passwords, etc. in addition to spreading awareness of the best practices. So you can reduce the risk by risk of what? So software, internet hacking or intrusion of to our network can be reduced by using antivirus software or anti-spyware programs. Okay. Even you can install firewall also. So we are going to see what is firewall and how can we set strong password, etc, etc. Okay, so next topic is best practices for security. So what are the best practices, what we can do for our system to be secure? So first thing is use strong passwords. What is a strong password? A combination of alphanumeric and special characters could be used for creating a password that is not so easy to crack or guessed by other users. Okay, so if somebody wants to crack your password, it should not be easy. So do not keep passwords such as your favorite color, friends or relatives name, bike number, mobile number, either a single or combined option. Okay, so you cannot use your personal details as your password. These passwords are easy to guess if a user knows you personally, isn't it? So change your password frequently, at least 2 or 3 weeks, so that your account information remains secure. That is actually a good practice, for change your password frequently so that nobody else can use your account. So using strong password can lower the risk of a security breach. See how the hackers are means cracking your password. If it is an easy password or if it is an easy word to be cracked, they can do that. So always you keep a strong password. So there are some tricks that are given in this text itself. How can you use a strong password? Using strong passwords can lower the risk of a security breach. Effectiveness of a password depends on the security mechanism of the software and user involvement in generating a strong password. So you can use the security mechanism of the software, or either you can generate a strong password. You can users can involve in creating strong password, or the software will help you. Okay, so most websites check for password effectiveness when a user attempts to register for the first time or when they change password. See, suppose if you are registering in any site, they will ask for a password, okay, login name and password. For example, when you register with Gmail, you may notice a password meter is displaying the strength of your password similar to the one displayed below. So here, if you have a Gmail account, you have created a Gmail account, you may face this one off screen. Okay, so choose a password. If you give a password like 1 2 3 4 5 6 8 7 8 9, so the password is very weak. Okay, so re-enter the password. You can again re-enter the password option will be there. So again, if you give 987 in the reverse order till 2, it is fair. So we didn't give 1 at the last. Okay, if anybody gives a password, they might give 9 to 1, isn't it? So that will be a weak one, but if you give 9 to 2, it will be fair. And if you give 9 see, that's what, so 9 to 1, it will be a weak password. And if it is 98765, after 2 they have given a letter, alphabet, so it is a strong password. It becomes a strong password. How? It is a combination of digits and alphanumerical or alphabets. So that's why it becomes a strong password. So while you're creating a password, the first thing is you need to remember it. Okay, whenever you log into your account, you have to remember it. You can remember it. And the second one is you have to make a complicated password. That's the first thing. So most of us are giving a simple passwords because we may forget it, isn't it? That's why we are giving an easiest one. But it is recommended that you can use a strong password, which is a combination of letters and digits. Okay. So following is a general guideline for making strong passwords. What are they? Keep the length of the password at least 12 to 14 characters if permitted. Some sites will not permit up to 12 or 14 characters. If it is permitted, you can use up to 12 or 14. Okay, because the others can guess. They cannot guess your password easily. The second trick is avoid keeping passwords based on repetition, dictionary words, letter or number sequences, usernames, relative or pet names, etc. So your close persons can detect that easily. So including numbers and symbols in passwords if allowed. You can use any other symbol at the rate or any other symbol, stars, you can use in your password if the sites allow. Then use capital and lowercase letters. You can just make a use of combination of capital and smaller case. Avoid using the same password for multiple sites or purposes. Okay, you never use it, do it. Okay, so for if you have many accounts, you may use the same password for all the accounts. It is dangerous. Avoid using something that the public or workmates know you strongly like or dislike. Okay, so you can avoid that also. Use random password generators if possible. So there are so many softwares which produce or means generate random passwords. Example of a strong password. See this one, U1VX. Okay, it's a combination of capital letter, small letter, digits, etc., etc. So there are some symbols also. In the second one, there are some symbols: curly bracket, square bracket, dollar sign, etc., etc. So that also make a strong password. Now, you may also use websites such as www.strongpasswordgenerator.com that can generate random strong passwords. To generate a strong password using .com is following. How can you do that? That you can do yourself. Okay, so open any web browser, then type the name of the strong password generator.com in the address bar, then click generate strong password. Then what happens? Notice a password displayed under your new password. Okay, backup your data. So if you type some password, the related strong password will be displayed below that. Always keep copies of personal data in additional media such as compact disc, pen drives, etc., etc. You have to keep it in an addition additional media, additional devices, or else you can keep it in your cloud storage. Okay, like your Google Drive or some other cloud storage space. This could be helpful in situation when there is a loss of data. Keep the data away from unauthorized users. Then next tip is use encryption software. What is encryption? Usually available within the operating system itself. Encryption means change into another format to protect your data from unauthorized users. Okay, if encryption software is not available within the operating system, use a third party software. Okay, that is not necessary actually. You can do whatever you can. Okay, keeping your username and password private. How can you do that? Never save your username or password on computers that are used in shared environments such as internet cafe. If you are going to some other place, okay, and you are using the computer and you are just logging into any of your account, then never save your password in that system. Okay, it's dangerous. Then browsers may save your personal data on the local computer that can be used by another user using the same computer. If another person is using the same computer, then they may also get your password if it is not deleted or not logged out safely. Registering with websites. Okay, read the privacy statement or policy. Whenever you register with a website, the statement or policy will include information about how the website uses personal data. Okay, so you have to read through the terms and conditions of any software, and then only you give proceed with your software installation or whatever it is, registering with the websites or whatever it is. Okay, so do not share personal information. That is, website require you to fill out forms containing fields such as name, gender, age, email address, schools, etc., etc. Be cautious when filling out such forms. Okay, so research and verify if it is a trustable website. So that is an important thing, children, when you are browsing any site. Okay, even you are getting from your best friend, so you never give it as it is, and never click any of the button on that website if it is not trustworthy. Understand? It's very important. So your email address could be used by unauthorized users to send you fake or unwanted emails. Okay, think twice or thrice before providing information to any website and decide if it is really necessary. So if it is not really necessary, it is better you don't give your information, even your email address, your house address, okay, etc., etc. Okay, then secure transactions. So how can you do secure transactions? If you are using online shopping or transactions, websites even store your credit card or online banking personal information such as your credit card number, account details, etc. Okay, so you are doing, or your parents are doing online shopping, your credit card or debit card details will be saved, account details will be saved. Okay, sometimes this information, if it is not an unauthorized site, if it is an unauthorized sites, it may save like that. It's very dangerous. This information can be tracked and used by an unauthorized users, often known as hackers, to misuse the information. What the hackers are doing? Okay, so I think we learned it last year. What is hackers? Those who are getting into your account without your permission, they are called hackers. Okay, again, ensure the website is legitimate and uses secure practice for performing and maintaining online transactions. So only you open or use the authorized websites for any type of or any kind of transactions or any type of searching, whatever it is, shopping, whatever it is. Since information such as credit card details or personal information is sent over the network, it is always recommended to use only secure websites for such transaction. That is the most important thing you want to do. So how you know it is a secure website? I will tell you after this one. Verify if the website uses secure transaction. Usually it is indicated through a digital certificate represented as a golden lock in the web browser's address bar. So for example, if you are using any of the site, for example Amazon .in, whatever it is, Amazon.com or .in India, Amazon India, so you will be getting a site like this. How you know that this is a secure website? So see, there is a padlock, and on the address bar at the left side of the address there will be a padlock. Okay, so that shows that that site is a secure site. Okay, and if open the home page, if you open the home if you are just using any of the site, you will be authorized site, you will be getting a padlock. Okay, so any site which seems an exclamatory or an open padlock picture, you never browse it. Okay, so Flipkart, so you can check for Flipkart. Okay, so flipkart.com, Google search, so it will be flipkart.com is also a authorized site. You can see a padlock. Okay, so this is what you want to know when you are browsing a site. Okay, very important. So log, so manage your passwords. So there are so many options, so all these you can use along with this. Okay, when you click on this, you can see connection is secure. Your information, for example password or credit card numbers, is private when it is sent to this site. Okay, certificate valid, cookies. Okay, so cookies we are going to see. So all these we can see when you click on this. That's what, when you are browsing any site, you must be aware of that. So use antivirus. The next tip is use antivirus and anti-spyware software. It is a recommended one. Okay, computers, what is antivirus and anti-spyware? We already saw that, isn't it? So it scans for viruses and unauthorized or unwanted programs, and it removes it from the system. Computers are prone to attack from software known as malware. Malware means not good software that could harm your computer. Malware track browsing behavior or transmit personal data from your computer. Okay, that is what the malware do. A hacking process. Then programs such as keyloggers could be installed on your computer, track and transmit every key that is pressed on a keyboard. That means when you are pressing some password or some account number, whatever it is, it will be detected and it will send to the unauthorized users. That's it. Antivirus and anti-spyware program also offer real-time protection, monitoring your computer for any changes by malware software. Okay, keep your antivirus and anti-spyware software always up to date. So you must update your software whichever you are using. This can help. Why you are updating? This can help in protecting your computer from recent threats. Okay, so that means updates will always detect the threat and it will means overcome that. Do not immediately respond to mails from unknown user. That's another thing. You have a mail account and do not open if it is coming from an unknown user. Okay, it may be a fake mail trying to gather personal information such as your bank account details, home address, etc. Okay, so many messages from fake IDs are coming to the mail IDs nowadays, and telling that you are eligible to get this much lakhs of amount or crores of amount, and you have to give your bank account details. That is a fake one. Okay, so never answer to this type of messages, children. Nobody will give you money freely. Okay, so please understand that. Some mails could promise you jobs or announce lottery result. That's what I told you. So they will tell you your number or your email address is means reserved for this lottery, and you have to send your account details for transferring the money, like that. Never do that. Never open that kind of messages, which in turn could compromise the user. Then, and in some cases, virus or scripts that are dangerous could be attached to the mail. Some mails will attach with a virus program. So when you open that mail, the virus will be installed or downloaded in your system. Never open the attachment from an unknown source. That is the thing you have to follow. That's all. Clear browser cookies frequently. Cookies are, I told you what is cookies. Cookies are programs that are created on your local computer when you visit websites. For example, if you are visiting your amazon.in, so your cookie, that means your details will be stored. Once you enter or browse that site, it will be entered in their database, and again they will send new updates to your mail and or your phone number, and you can able to again open that same thing if you are interested. Okay, so though cookies are meant for storing data based on your activity performed during your earlier visit, such as logon details of a shopping cart, visited pages in a website, etc. So that means you are interested to buy some such product, and they will be showing the same type of product. Different kinds of companies products will be showing to you, because you are searching for such kind of products, isn't it? So that is how it happens. That is the use of cookies. So visited pages in a website, etc. They could also be tracked by unauthorized users and possibly gain access to your personal information. So for your kind attention, please children understand, these cookies are used for good purpose as well as for bad purposes. Okay, so we can't say that it is not good. Okay. Keep the operating system and software application up to date. So that's what they said before. So you have to always in operating system and software applications up to date. Okay, though operating system and applications are designed, tested and distributed, why we are saying that we have to update our software? That's the reason. Okay, though operating systems and applications are designed, tested and distributed, sometimes they may have security holes through which a hacker can take advantage. Okay, so they may track and gather information or even damage to the whole computer. In general, most vendors notify the users whenever a security hole is identified and an update is available to address that particular issue. So you can also visit respective vendors' website to check if there are any updates available. Download and keep your operating system and software application up to date, free from security holes. Okay, so that you can do frequently, not frequently, regularly. That's all. Okay, then install firewalls. What is a firewall? So we heard the term firewall. So firewall means it is a software or hardware which can protect your network. Okay, so firewalls could be software or hardware and can assist in keeping a computer and a network secure. So it will block the unwanted messages to your network, as well as it will help you to block the important mails to go from your network without your knowledge. Okay, so firewalls analyze the network traffic and determine the traffic should be allowed or not. If you are permitting, you are giving permission, then only your mails will go to another person, your data will go to other systems. In most cases, operating systems such as Linux, Windows or Mac include firewall software as a part of operating system, thus keeping the computer secure. In rare cases, you may need to configure your firewall for additional security. Okay, in most of the devices in the market today will be having this firewall already, that will be installed with the firewall software. You have to initiate that. Never install software from unknown sources. That's what I told you. So don't browse the unauthorized sites, as they might not be trustworthy. Download only from well-known or reputed websites. That's the important thing you need to understand. Okay, understand the nature and the purpose of the software before attempting to download and install them. Then remove unwanted or unknown software applications. These might have got installed without your knowledge. Okay, so you need to remove unwanted or unknown software from your system, uninstall it. When you have visited some websites, okay, so automatically when you visit some website, that's what I told you, when you are visiting unauthorized websites, when you click somewhere accidentally, it may install automatically. So unwanted software could get installed as they might have been bundled along with the necessary software. Sometimes if you are installing useful software along with that software, some other unwanted softwares will be get installed in your system. Okay, that's what happened. So some programs such as toolbars get installed usually through bundled software and are programmed to send personal data without your consent. Okay, so that kind of software you have to take care of. So clearing data stored in browsers. How can you clear the data stored in your browsers? I think you already know that, how to clear the history, how can you set the privacy of your system, etc., etc. Web browsers have built-in password management designed to store passwords used in forms on website. Then browsers often prompt to save usernames and password when users attempt to log into websites. This facility is offered to users so that they can log on to their frequently used websites without having to type the username or password. Sometimes if you will always ask to save the password in the current device, isn't it? So many of us are doing like that. You give yes, okay, that means that password will be always saved in your system. Then you just need to log into your system. So automatically without giving the password you can access that account. That's what it. To clear personal data from your web browser such as Mozilla Firefox, they are already explained about Mozilla Firefox. I think you already know that. How can you just remove the history, or how can you set it? So go to the settings. So click on this button, 3 dots, and then you go to settings. So there you can set all the security. See, safety check. Okay, privacy and security. You can just use privacy and security for clearing browsing data, clear history, cookies, cache, and more. So you can just select any of them. And about the appearance, themes, everything you can just set here. Okay, in the settings. Search engine, okay, which search engine you want, always Google. So everything you can change. Okay, on startup, so whatever you want you can set here. Appearance, you can just set the appearance. So default browser, everything you can set here. Okay, so just take it. Now after that, so how can you clear the history? Again, go to this one, and history options are there. So history, so it will go to this is a history what you have browsed recently, that will be displayed here. And if you want to search the history, clear browsing history, you will get another screen. And time range, how often you have to clear the history, last hour, all time, then last 4 weeks, all time. So whatever it is you can just set here. Okay, browsing history, it clears. So if you just check this mark, clears history from all signed in devices. So all this you can, cookies and other site data, so signs you out of most sites. So you can just log out from all the sites which you are logging. So all this one, so clear data means you can just, it will work out. Okay, so that's what about clearing history, security of the site, browsing page. So you can just leave it. Okay, so the next one is so already explained here. Now that's about internet security. Now next topic is maintain workplace safety. So that is a general instruction given for all, not about this network or internet, whatever it is, computers, but it's a general instruction. Maintain workplace safety. How can you maintain it? Okay, so first one is basic safety rules to follow at workspace. What are they? Fire safety, falls and slips, electrical safety, use of first aid. So again they are explaining on each of them. So each organization must follow a standard set of safety rules. Okay, so first one is basic fire safety rules in an organization. What are they? Fire escape plans must be installed at proper levels. Conduct regular drills. Maintenance of safety equipment must be taken care of regularly. This is in every building they have to do that. Falls and slip safety rules. Workplace must be proper ventilated. Floors must be clean and dry. Oil spills, dust must be immediately cleaned. Smoke alarms must be placed at proper intervals. So in a flat or in a big building, it must be there. Keep workplace a non-smoking area. Then electrical safety rules. Electrical equipment approved by a recognized organization. Then damaged and hazardous electrical equipment should be immediately replaced. Okay, so all the damaged electrical equipment should be replaced. All old and workout frayed switches and wires should be changed. Heat emanating equipment should be kept away from the electrical equipment. So take care of the outlets. Circuit should not be overloaded. Okay, all this should be taken care of by the builders itself. Then what is the use of first aid? First aid is immediate assistance provided to the injured to save life and minimize health loss till the proper medical aid is provided. Every organization must have basic first aid kit. Kit must have all necessary items. Make sure check for the expiry of the medical related items. Okay, so first aid, some rules are given. Assure the injured to remain calm and not to panic. Then keep them warm if they are under shock. So do not move the victim in case of back or neck injury. So most of the things we know already, isn't it? So you have to learn all this. Then the session 10 deals with the prevent accidents and emergencies. See, all these are related to the general rules given to an any organizations. Okay, general or means instructions. So what is an accident? An accident is an unplanned event that may happen all of a sudden and may lead to unwanted or unprecedented results or outcomes. Or it can be defined as an unfortunate incident that occurs unintentionally, causing hazardous results or injury or unwanted results. What's an emergency? Any unexpected situation that needs immediate attention and action, that is called emergency. These are the definition. See, then an emergency situation might pose a sudden risk to life, property, health, etc. and need intervention to prevent deteriorating results or hazards. Now, types of accidents. So children, when you are learning this, you just underline only those sentences I underline. These are not very important, but you have to learn at least 2 points from each of the topic. Okay, so these are general instructions given to the organization, how it should be. Not related to our topic actually. Okay, so our topic is web application and security. That's under the security all this comes. Then the types of accidents. What are the different types of accidents? Accidents at workplace, or slips and falls accidents, fire accidents, etc. Then industrial disease or illness. Okay, that is we are facing now. Currently we are facing that. Road traffic accidents. Then clinical accidents. Then sports related accidents. So these are different types of accidents. Then workplace accidents may include injuries that are caused to the workers due to falls, slips and trips. Then slip and fall accidents may occur at any working environment, and the injuries may vary from minor ache to major severe accident. Okay, so all these are about accidents and different types of accidents. An emergency situation is one. What is an emergency situation? Threatens the employees, customers or the public. Then disrupts or shuts down the operations. Then causes physical or environmental damage. Then emergencies that require evacuation include. What are the emergencies when we need to evacuate? Then fire, explosion, flood, earthquake, hurricane, then tornado, toxic material release, then civil disturbance, then workplace violence. All these are the situations when we need to evacuate immediately the place. Then handling accidents. How can you handle the accidents? Some tips are given. Accidents must be handled carefully. The accidents should be handled compassionately without assigning blame on others, isn't it? On accident situation we cannot blame others. We have to take standard operating procedures, that is SOP. So every organization must follow SOP, that is standard operating procedure for accident handling. Then safety measures must be placed to prevent workplace accidents. Immediately call the medical team for any injury. Then stay alert. Pay attention to and follow emergency drills. All this we have to be followed. And we are in the last session 11, protect health and safety at work. So when you are working in an organization and you have to how can you protect health and how can you save at work. Then an organization can face some health and hazards that could put the lives of the employees in danger. So hazards can be of different types depending on the industry and the environment in which the employees work. The different types of hazards include physical, chemical, biological, mechanical. So these are the different types of hazards. So what are the different sources of hazards? The workstation should provide sufficient space for the user to alter position comfortably, then provide adequate lighting, then have windows fitted with adjustable coverings to alter the sunlight level, then be spacious enough when a workstation is shared by more than one person. Then the next one is the display screen should be display well defined characters of adequate size and spacing, have a stable image, have easily adjustable brightness and contrast, tilt and swivel easily to suit the user, be free from glare and reflection, use a separate base for the screen or an adjustable table. So all these are the workstation and display screen, that means computer screen. Everything should be kept as it is. Okay, so it's the proper place. So where should be the keyboard should be able to tilt easily and should be able to separate from the screen to allow the user to adopt comfortable working position. Then have space in front to provide support for the hands or arms of the user. Have a matte surface. Then have clearly legible symbols on the keys. So you know how it should be. See, when you use keyboard, it should be very clear, isn't it? The work surface should be provide adequate space for the user, have a low reflective surface, be of an adequate size to allow the screen, keyboard and other peripherals to be flexibly arranged, have a stable and adjustable document holder which should be at the same level as the screen and at the same viewing distance. So you need not learn all this. You have to understand what are the situation where you have to work, or how it should be, or the workplace should be. Okay, then next one is workplace evacuation. So in case of when you are evacuating in the emergency situation, in case of emergency, there should be provision for evacuation. What is evacuation? Evacuation is the process of emptying a place in case of an emergency or disaster, isn't it? So the place should be evacuated immediately. So every company must ensure following points for evacuation in case of an emergency. An evacuation policy. Okay, so evacuation policy should be there. Then every organization must have an evacuation policy. All the team leaders and responsible for are responsible for informing about the policy to their employees about it. The proper attention must be paid when the team leader is informing you about these details. Negligence at this time may cost lives. Okay, so be very careful when it happens. Organization must have a designated assembly point for emergencies. Okay, they must have a designated assembly point. Ensure that every employee or worker must know where it is. Then a buddy system for individuals with special needs. Okay, so there should be a buddy system for individuals with special needs or disabilities must be designated. That is very important if such kind of employees are working there. This system ensures that differently abled are assisted and guided out of the premises or the impacted area properly. If you are a buddy to someone, so ensure that your buddy is safe at the assembly point with you. Okay, so you have to help the other one. So floor plans with evacuation routes in work area. So when you go to hotels, you can see that in every floor there will be a floor plan, how you can exit from the floor. ensure that you understand these so that you can use it in time of need. Then assembly areas where you are required to assemble after evacuation must be properly taken care of. Okay, never neglect all these points. Then, not the least, periodic evacuation drills should be conducted. In most of the organization, this should be conducted. These are conducted. Then ensure that you pay attention during these drills. Okay. Then the last topic is healthy living. So what is a healthy living? A healthy body has a healthy mind. You already know that. A very popular saying is true. Okay. So healthy lifestyle leads to a healthy being. A healthy living has a lasting impact on an individual, which ultimately yields a healthy environment at home as well as at workplace also. A happy and healthy worker will always perform best to his ability. So that is the most important thing. A healthy worker will always perform best to his ability. So if you want to become healthy, you have to follow some rules. Healthy lifestyle helps to keep and improve people's health and well-being. So healthy lifestyle includes, you can just note this out. Okay, so what are healthy lifestyles? Healthy eating habits, physical activities, stress management, healthy mind, sound sleep, goal setting. If you are missing any of these, you won't be a healthy person. So be careful to follow all these instructions. A healthy lifestyle needs practice, commitment, and sincere effort. So stay healthy and stay happy and stay safe. Now we can say you have to stay safe also, isn't it? So you can just take care of all the instructions given in the textbook and just mark the important points which we have marked. So this chapter is over. That means the unit web application and security is over, and we can just next class we can see what is next. And don't forget to submit your assignments in proper time. Okay, so they are the small assignments, so 5 or 6 questions maximum will be there, and you have to write in the notebook and submit in time. Okay, so be safe children, and thank you. Okay.